Hi, this is Marini here, and today is our last installment of our What to Do If You Don't Know What to Do series. And today we're going to be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is caregiving. What to do if you don't know what to do. If you are a caregiver, you suddenly become a caregiver, this is for you. Now, the reason I say this is near and dear to my heart is because a few years ago, my mother unfortunately had a stroke, and where I'm very thankful she, is still here, number one, but it opened up a whole new world of things I had no clue about, and just wanted to share some best practices from my experience, my and my sister's experience as caregivers. So one thing I didn't know, I'll start with this, is if you're someone who's currently employed, some employers may have where you can if there are caregiving, like expenses associated with caregiving, like if you are paying for things such as adult daycare, or if you are paying like a nurse or personal care assistant to come to be with your loved one while you are working, then you definitely, number one, want to check with your benefits department during your company's annual open enrollment for this. But I know with the employer that I had, we were able, if we met certain qualifications, some of those expenses, we can write those off, or we can allocate certain monies to be set aside from our paycheck, and then use that money from that particular bucket to pay those expenses. And then there were some, I think, tax advantages. But like I said, check directly with your benefits department if you have questions, if your company offers something like that. Also, you want to speak with your loved one's insurance provider. Depending on how young or old that person is, there may be different offerings by that insurance company. Like, for instance, if your loved one is a senior, if your loved one is disabled, if your loved one is a minor, if your loved one may have like a traumatic brain injury, things like that, there may be different programs that are available to help your loved one. So check into that. Check into if your loved one qualifies for Medicaid, and that of course varies by state, what your loved one does qualify for. And also look for resourceful people. If your loved one is older, like my mom is a senior, things like the Area Agency on Aging can be helpful as well. They do have different programs available. And some of them, there will be a financial contribution that your family has to make for that loved one to get care, but you want to find out all of your options. And I know for my mother, when she got home from the rehab facility, we had to get a home healthcare company. And the home healthcare company that worked with us, they were phenomenal. My cousin actually told us about that company, but they coordinated having like therapists, a nurse, a care assistant, and a social worker. And this was all through that home healthcare company. So some questions that we had, they would answer those questions. But I will say, a lot of people that I spoke with, and this goes from like the doctors at the hospital, nurses, even home health care companies, always have a pen and paper handy. Like some days I'm like, okay, great, mom's just having therapy, but then I'd leave, or that person would leave, and I'd have a list of like 10 things to do on top of a list of 10 other things that, speaking with like maybe the social worker or things like that told me to do. So it's important to have patience, ask for help. If you know resourceful people that may have similar situations or may work in certain fields like healthcare, social work, things of that nature, who can help you navigate some of the challenges you may, or help answer questions, then reach out to those people as well. Because for many people, caregiving can become quite expensive. A lot of families are left with the decision, do I put my loved one in a care facility, knowing that this is how much money it costs per month? Other costs to consider may be the cost of having a person to come in the home to help your loved one, or even if your loved one's a senior, maybe if they're going to a adult day center, or if you're looking at more so of an assisted living facility type situation. There is a cost associated with a lot of this. And for many people, unfortunately, their finances get drained because they're blindsided because they didn't know their loved one was that ill. Or in the case of a child, they may have an illness, and going to the hospital and getting tests and getting surgeries. This goes for young and old actually, but that person having surgeries or different therapies and procedures or things that may be not covered by an insurance, those bills can add up really quickly. But knowing your rights, knowing your loved one's rights is going to be super important. And as I said in my last video, if you don't know what to do in the case of illness, this is a time you definitely want to have your will, trust, power of attorney, healthcare proxy information up to date. So that's something you want to always, always, always keep up to date, because life changes. Your loved ones may move out of the home, things of that nature. Someone may move away, and if you put that person who is thousands of miles away as the person to conduct business, it may be a bit difficult. So if you don't know what to do and you're a caregiver, first of all, just know I have been there, and much prayers to you. Keep your head up. It can be challenging. It can be draining mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, but know that you are helping a loved one. You're helping someone out. And I know that may not feel like a consolation, but you're making someone's quality of life better. So it is challenging. Get the support that you need as well. I know in my community there is one of the organizations has like a caregiver institute. Make sure that you are scheduling moments of respite for yourself. And if that's communicating with a family member, a friend, maybe a church member, if you're in any like organizations, if it's someone that you can definitely trust to give you just a bit of a break, take that opportunity as well. But again, like I said, I can 100% relate to being a caregiver, and seek help, ask questions, and you'll get through this. You'll definitely get through this. So this is Marini signing off. Let me know in the comments below, and help others, and let them know your experience. Let them know your challenges, but also how you were able to get help and any resources that you know of that may be of help to others. But again, Marini signing off, and I'll talk to you soon.